Hi, Rob MacKillop here. This video is for guitarists who come to the Baroque Lute for the first time. And when you do so, you'll be presented with a few obstacles. One is the instrument itself, the physicality of it. Another is the number of strings, the tuning, and tablature, reading French tablature. Also the pitch. In my case, I'm using 3/9/2 pitch, meaning everything is down a tone from where it would be on a guitar. This was known as French Baroque pitch, and it was also used in Dresden, where Sylvius Leopold Weiss worked. So likely he played down a tone as well. 3/9/2 pitch. He didn't think of it as down a tone; he just thought of it as pitch. That's where we are. So a number of obstacles to get used to. Now this video is about familiarizing yourself with a very important area of the fretboard, the strings 2, 3 and 4, which is obviously used a lot in all Baroque lute music, and it's nice to know where chords are that you know already on the guitar. Now people come from a classical background and a rock background to play Bach on the lute, and some people spend years learning this stuff, and then you ask them to play a B minor chord and they don't know what you're talking about. It's very common among lute players to not know what they're doing and just read the tab. The best players, the professionals, and many very good amateurs work it out, work out what the chords are, but a lot of people don't. And it's a shame. But it's very easy if you've played guitar before, because there are correspondences between the tunings. And here it is. Whatever you play on the first 3 strings on a guitar, like a D major shape, you go over a string and up 2 frets, same shape, and you get a D major chord. Now it might sound like C major, but remember I'm down at 3/9/2 pitch. So this is what we think of as D major on a Baroque lute. So that was the same D chord over a string and up 2 frets. Same goes for D7, over a string, up 2 frets. D7, D minor, over a string, up 2 frets. You get the idea. Everything you know on the top 3 strings of a guitar goes over a string and up 2 frets. Now, let's look at G chord. I'll look at this one on a guitar's frets 3, 3 and 4. We go over a string and up 2 frets. We get G major. Now, as with all these chords, if there's no open strings, we can move them around. So G, F, E flat, D majors, G, A, B flat. Now start running out of frets. Some have frets right up to the 12th fret. I don't need it on this instrument for the repertoire I'm playing, but I have another Baroque lute coming which will have bells and whistles, so not literally. So that's G major, but there's another G major on a guitar. We play the 3rd fret and then the 2nd string open and the 3rd string open. Well, let's move that over. It's F major, we go up 2 frets and we get G major. Now, I have a PDF which is free from my website, addressed below the video on YouTube. Where was I? Yeah, this is G major. Now, I got lost. See, I interrupted myself there and got lost. A second, we've got G major. Now, we want to learn some classic chord sequences. Baroque music's full of sequences. Weiss, more than Bach, Weiss loved sequences. You can hear them in a lot of his music. But here's a classic chord sequence every Baroque composer would know is chord 4, 5, 1. Now in the key of G, we'll stay in the key of G, and we're only using strings 2, 3 and 4. 4, 5, 1, well in the key of G, G, A, B, C, the C chord is 4. Remember that was D major moved over, gave us C major. So that's chord 4. I can do it with a little bar in my second finger. Chord 5 is D7. Now remember the D7 shape, over and up. I'm going to refinger that using fingers 3, 2 and 4. So I had chord 4, C major, chord 5, D7, chord 1, G major, 4, 5, 1. You can play around with these things and see what you can come up with. Now I'm not too worried about which inversions of the chords we're playing, because in reality your thumb is probably playing an open string bass note somewhere. But we're just trying to understand strings 2, 3 and 4 for the moment. So we had chord 1, 4, 5, 1. Okay, now the other very common chord sequence is 2, 5, 1. So instead of 4 chord, we have a 2 chord. Now to turn a 4 chord into 2, I'm going to add my third finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. Remember, this was a B minor chord on guitar moved over. It's now A minor. So I had that's the A minor. And the D7, just add one finger, the pinky, going on the second string. So that's 2, 5, 1. Oops. Okay. Then the mother of all chord sequences just happens to be Johann Sebastian Bach's phone number. That's not a universal thing, I just call it that. Hopefully it'll catch on. And Bach's phone number is 14736251. 14736251. I usually split it into 14736251. And so we learn it's a cycle of fourths, and each chord is a fourth away from its neighbour. So let's go through the cycle of fifths, cycle of fourths. Bach's phone number on the Baroque Lute, chord 1, G major, chord 4 is C major, chord 7 is F sharp diminished. Now it just so happens that it's exactly the same as our D7. That's because our D7 doesn't include a D. It's rootless. You know, we would be playing a D down here somewhere. Here's F sharp. Now F sharp diminished has the notes F sharp, A, C natural. There's the F sharp, the A, and the C natural. So that's our 7 chord. So let's start again. We've got 1, 4, 7, 3. Now 3 G, A, B is B minor. Now we looked at B minor, we moved it over and up 2 frets. We could use this B minor, but I want to use a different one. Still a B minor, but just different position. It's the second string open, which is a D. On the third string, second fret, is a B. And on the fourth string, first fret, is an F sharp. There's our B minor. Now the reason I want to move it there instead of up here, it's just this nice little movement to the next chord, which is E minor. Remember the tuning of the instrument is D minor, so second fret's E minor. We're still on strings 2, 3 and 4. So let's go back to our beginning. We got 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, and then the 2, 5, 1 we did earlier, A minor, D7, G. So 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Remember, there's probably a bass line beneath these, but we're just looking at the shapes. And we get to know these chords within the context of Baroque music. They use this pattern a lot. We can play around with it. Says he. with this stuff, you can change different keys. Only the B minor had an open string, but you could work that out for a different key. Now the scale of G major in this position should also be known as G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now that's the same scale again on the guitar as in first position G major, open third string, second fret, open second string, first fret, third fret, open first string, second fret, third fret. We just moved that over and up 2 frets. No open strings, very handy. E flat, A flat. Did I say E flat? I meant A flat. A major, B flat. You get the 1, 4, 5 or 2, 5 in B flat. So that's it. So summing up everything you know on the first 3 strings of a guitar, move them over to the second, third and fourth string on the lute and up 2 frets. And then there are a number of chord sequences, 4-5-1, 2-5-1, Bach's phone number, 1-4-7-3, 6-2-5-1, and the major scale, and just put it all together, have a bit of fun improvising around with those things. Improvising is a very posh word. I really mean doodling. Just doodle. Mess around. You know, you can call it improv if you want. And but it's doodling. There's a lot of doodling goes on in lute playing. Not as much as there should be. I think I'm all for doodling. Okay, that's it. Any questions, you can reach me via my website. Link again below, well here, but also below the video on YouTube. And a reminder that you can get a free PDF for this. Donations are always welcome. I give a lot of my stuff away for free because it's common knowledge, but it's nice to have. And if you can, if you want, you don't have to. You can make a donation via PayPal. But there's a link below the video on YouTube and how to do that as well. Okay, that's it. Cheers.